What's up, everybody? Welcome back, my friends, to that show that never ends. Manic Monday, wish it was Sunday. Maybe not. I don't know. I actually had a really good Sunday, so maybe I do. Fastest show in MLB, absolutely anywhere it's cold to the pen. HQ, redheaded stepchild of the Hammer Betting Network, brought to you by that scholar and a gentleman, Mr. Rob Pizzola. Hat tip to my boy, our dude north of the border, bringing you this show. Man, without him, there is no us. If you enjoyed the show this year, if you learned something, or just enjoyed me screaming in my musings, get up on Twitter, X, and tag Mr. Pizzola. Let him know how good of a job we're doing over here. Rich Clark, Brian E, BGC, up to capo status. Really appreciate you guys. There's a lot of support here for me personally. Brian Rose, what's up? I see you. Good morning. So the flower blooms. Let's go get it, my friend. It's like a shortened slate. I know I enjoy that. There is one in the afternoon. Good morning, Matty Williams. Swap the L's for sevens, everyone. Follow my dude up on Twitter. 200 units in baseball? Okay. Love it. Love it, Jeff L. Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. All right, let's do the baseball thing. I know everyone's like football brain. We got 10 regular season shows left. That's it. And then it is all football. Speaking of which, make sure you're following up my boy Matty, him and Frankie, two very good friends of the show, just started their own podcast, betting stuff. And the two of them are so sharp. That's the kind of stuff I like to listen to. They don't kind of, it's similar to this, right? We're not kind of telling you what to do, just doing fair analysis, and you kind of go after it yourself. All right, let's get it, everybody. So I'm going to skip the early one. It's Cleveland and KC. In case we run out of time or I forget, I have Kansas City by like a country mile in this one. Brady Singer on the bump for the Royals. I didn't bet it because, again, at this point of the year, I want to add to the hashtag we hate bullpens, hashtag we hate ghost runners, hashtag I hate daytime but baseball. I don't mean like I hate the baseball. I don't like betting on it during the day. I don't know what it is, especially like weird. I don't know. I just don't like betting on it during the day. Maybe because if you lose, you have to kind of carry it with you. I'm also focusing on, I'm still doing work when there are 7 games, so I'm like, I don't feel like maybe I got everything in. Anyway, if you want a little early action, I do have the Royals with cheese. Let's get into the main slate. PM stuff, nighttime on the bump for the Twinkies. It's Joe Ryan, minus 145 favorite on the road against Connor Phillips and the Reds. Pricing a little bit weird to me. Jay, we haven't been in the habit of really paying juice at all this year, right? It's not really my style, and I don't mean that you can't do it, but I think we should do it here. I don't know if I want to go for the cover on the road. Let's dive on into it. I know we're going to get a piece of the Twins. Also, this time of year, I really like money lines with competitive teams, like the Reds are still hacking away, and I'll go for run lines with these bullpens that have given up, but the teams that are competing, are going to go for it. Anyway, Ryan, 4.2 ERA, 1.13 whip, which is excellent. All the indicators are like 3.5 or below, though. 3.4 expected ERA, 3.45 SIERA. Those are both really good. 24.5 K minus BB. He's been excellent. 14 swinging strike, 67 for a strike. I mean, a lot of stuff that we generally go after. Sub 80% zone contact. Joe Ryan wins in the zone. And I love that because when your back is up against the wall, he can win in the zone. 282 expected WOBA on the season. Anytime you're below 300 is excellent. Anything below 290 is fantastic. I think the big worry here has been the home road splits for Ryan, and that's probably what's been reflected in the pricing here that I mentioned. 256 batting average allowed, 793 OPS, nearly 5 ERA, xFIP more like 4.25 because he has surrendered more than 2 home runs per 9 on the road. Been a real issue with him. Last 40 days has been excellent though. 275 ERA, 3.3 SIERA. All the kind of indicators agree. I really want to back Ryan here against Connor Phillips, who's 8 2/3 innings into the season with an 8.3 ERA, nearly 2 WHIP. Indicators are trash. 14% walk. A lot of stuff we generally go after. 50% hard hit. 50% hard hit, 15% barrel. Yeah, you heard that, more than 3 homer per 9. Minnesota's got the upper hand on offense as well. 340-18 batting average, 812 OPS. Last 500 plate appearances as a team, 11.5 walk, 42 fly ball, 43 hard hit, 12 barrel. A lot of the stuff that, it's a small step of what we've seen from Phillips so far, and we know that ballpark conducive to hitting. Bullpens as well. Maybe this is the other part of it where I like the money line. See, I think I'm just going to pay the juice for the money line, right? I don't know. Hopefully, no one's like falling out of the chair. It's only 145. If I ever recommend minus 210, I've been kidnapped most likely. At that point, I'm pairing. But minus 145, you could pay. I think that's one thing I want to learn. Again, right? We're part of this show is the immersive experience. We joke about it being 300, that we're not humongous, but we are fierce. But one thing that I do truly believe in is the phalanx, right? We're all part of the tapestry, the chain, right? We just don't want to be the weakest link. But if every weak link is the strongest link, right? If your weakest link is actually the strongest link, because all are of equal strength, then you can kind of build off people. I think that's again where I hope people kind of gravitated to my work, because I really try and be very open-minded, right? You've seen it in my own process. A guy like Matt, my friend, it's not competition to me. We're both trying to beat the books. That's another really good lesson. But the thing I wanted to get to was willingness to kind of change. Minus 145 is not crazy as far as implied probability. And it's a viable play. And if you think you have it backed, again, Cincinnati, the bullpen's been pretty good. That's where I like to look for my run lines. Also, maybe a little small feather in the cap. Keep an eye on the bullpens when you're looking to cover, because that's where we get it, man. I know Matt's had a lot of success with that as well, because he's sharp. All right, so give me Minnesota to win it. Let's pay the 140 or whatever. We'll pay the little freight. I think we're going to get it. I don't really believe in Phillips, but just in case. Next up, let's go Mets go. Jose Butto. Atu, man, I'd like to get Bellotto. All right, I gotta say, man, I got like big time negative regression alerts coming up here. Butto, 26 innings in, 3.4 ERA, 6.25 OPS, which are excellent. However, 1.5 WHIP, 5.5 SIERA, 16% walk rate, 43.5 ball. Those are not only is it not good, it's not really viable. He's kept the ball down 47% of the time and suppressed hard contact. So those are good things working around the edge, and I think that's where this is probably going to be decided. He's been very good on the road. But the stuff, location, and pitching plus model all have him at 95 or worse. Remember, that's not like WRC plus, where 1 tick is 1%. 10 ticks is a standard deviation. So it's pretty bad. Not really buying Butto. Into Miami they go to face Edward Cabrera and the Fish. I mean, I was a big Cabrera guy coming into the season. I like swing and miss stuff. I thought that would matter more with rule changes and steals going up and pitch clocks and whatever. But the walk rate's just not palatable right now. 4.5 ERA, 1.45 WHIP, because like I mentioned, he does have the swing and miss stuff, 28.5 K, 12.5 swing and strike, 29 CSW. However, 16% walk, not going to do it. Funny, his miss rate, I do count that in my pitching sheet. And again, it's all free for you people now. Adam Wilson, good morning. Thanks for jumping on board. The baseball stuff, if you've ever wondered what some of the paywall stuff might look like right now, it's totally open. Check it out on Twitter. I tweet it out every single day. The Google Doc, you can just bookmark it for the rest of the year. And then I'm looking for feedback because I want to improve it going into next year. Again, like I said, I'm trying to learn and I'm trying to open up where I won't pay juice from minus 135 to minus 150, where I think you can pay and be okay. So the Fish are minus 155 favorites. I don't know if I can get there again. I just really worry about Cabrera, but oh, excuse me. I couldn't get to the button fast. I'm so sorry. Oh, maybe some truth coming. Cabrera has been ridiculously good at home. Like ridiculously good. I hadn't even noticed this. 191 batting average allowed, 261 ERA, 0.71 homer 9 with a 2 ERA last 40 days. However, the indicator's not necessarily buying it, but the strikeout stuff is there. And I like I said, he's the kind of guy that he sings the swan song, right? He's got the fill. Right now, probably not the time to go up against the Mets. I'm going to leave this one. Miami's just been struggling. They've hit some home runs out of character. They're coming from Luis Arias, but they chase too much, they swing and miss too much. 47% ground ball rate. They're a ground ball machine. So I think they might struggle with Budo again, right down in the zone, like I mentioned. Mets offense just better than average. They're getting the lift on, pulling the ball. 332 team wall, but from the Let's Go Mets go last 500, they've been better than average. These bullpens are both really bad. Mets especially 6 ERA last 34 innings. Miami still at 5 through 62. Little extra message. I think about that. 14 days. If 62 bullpen innings in 14 days. Yikes. This one's tough to look for full game. I kind of like Cabrera through 5, but it's a little too expensive for me. Jake, could you bring that up? Is it 150 like that? I know I mentioned I'll go to that point, but I have to really like it. I like Joe Ryan a lot more than I like Ever Cabrera. Yeah, F5 Miami. Yeah, it's like minus 145, minus 150. So I'm not really into that. I'm going to draw up a DDP today. I'm going to draw up the daily parlay for sure because I have a couple of these. Like, man, I like it, but I don't love the price. And I don't want to I don't know. I just don't want to get cracked right now. I've spent the entire year talking about getting along with players like Matt and other volume-based players that I think is very smart in baseball, where you think you have an edge and identifying edge. Take as many as you can. Bet them small, bet them smart, and let the probability kind of play out over time. Again, that's been one of the keys to my success I've noticed, and I've mentioned this on the show. Through the times I've gotten in trouble, and again, we're all going to have wins and losses, peaks and valleys. I've been very successful year over year. I feel like I've been very lucky to do that. I don't know. I guess you're never as good as you think when you win, never as bad as you think you are when you lose. But I like to draw up these parlays and kind of meet in the middle, right? Where I'm getting away from volume because I've had a good season. I don't want to get smoked on the way out the door, right? You have no time to kind of catch up. But I also don't want to throw all this work away. I do a lot of analysis and I want people to think I'm a total fraud. So I'm going to draw up a couple. I'm going to draw up one today. If we have a minute at the end, I think I had an idea of who I liked. Jay, keep an eye on Miami. That'd be one of them. Next up would be another one of those. Keep the White Sox in mind. Earlier in the year, I probably would have bet on this one. Martin Ron, but we really do appreciate it, man. Says, love the show. Having a good week ahead. I think so, man. I got off to such a sick start with football. I'm telling you, once I got my hands in this media stuff and started building data sheets similar to baseball where they help me. I compartmentalize statistics and I format them. Again, not turn this into a football show, but where these things do overlap when we're talking about good process and solid methodology and controlling the things that we do control. For me, it's being able to digest large amounts of information. And the reason I'm able to do that, similar like to the show, is because it's so organized. And I think that's the key. Again, check out my sharpener stuff. I don't think you could beat. I try and go as cheap as I can. So here we go. Earlier in the year, I probably would have bet on the White Sox. The wrong Sox for the accent. My White Sox and Clev Dog Sunshine. Mike Clevenger on the bump. Minus 115 dog against Joan Adon and our Nationals at home. Clevenger, and there's another negative regression guy. 3.6 ERA, 1.23 whip, but all the indicators are more like 4.5, not like 5. 22K to 8% walk, just a guy. 26 CSW, 24 whip, just a guy. 31 O swing, 87 zone contact, just a guy. Lots of fly balls, but he's inducing the pop-ups and been really good, kind of working up and down, and that has led into suppressing hard contact. 28% hard contact for Club Dog. 303 expected WOBA. Those are very good. I know people are trashing him because apparently he's like a scumbag. I don't really care. 375 ERA last 40 days, 395 Sierra. Flip side, Joanna Don kind of came out looking good on Spurs surface stuff. Now everything's caught up. 6 ERA, 1.5 whip, double-digit walk, 24 CSW, right? Kind of bad. Okay, 38 ball to 21 whip. That's just not going to fly. It's a terrible ratio. Too many fly balls, too many hard hit, right? So 40 fly ball, 47.5 hard hit, double-digit barrel has been 1.4 homer 9. That's probably going to go in the other direction. And you can't pitch him at home. We're going to bet the White Sox, but we'll put him with the Marlins. We're going to build a little parlay. Yo, Josh, what's up, man? Player Prop Spot, another one of my boys. The restaurant where the chefs eat. We don't just talk it. So thank you to all the people that, man, Josh, we appreciate you, man. We really do. It means a lot. You, Matt, too, man. I mentioned you guys as much as I can. I've always truly believed that we're part of a circle. And if we're ever going to defeat the shitty content out there and all the meatballs and, inexperienced fakes and phonies, fugazis and the like. We're going to have to work together. So everyone make sure you're following. I'm the worst with these underscore. I think it's player_prop. Look up Past the Prop. Check me out. And their show is Past the Prop with Monotone Football, just player props and what like, dude. So all right, let's get back into it. We're gonna get exposed to the White Sox, but right now it's just not what you want to be doing. Right? They suck. 71 WRC plus. That's a 260-17 OBP. Thought it was going to start with average. 637 OPS. Only a 4% walk rate. 37 chase. 49 ground ball. This is just despicable. The White Sox are so bad. Not to be done by our Nationals. 209 batting average. 606 OPS. A 63 WRC plus for the Nationals. Both of these teams have a sub 290 expected WOBA versus righties, but Washington is like dead last. They're really, really bad right now. The Nationals offense has totally tanked. Totally tanked. And it happens, right? And I'm so proud of that. Right? We joke about the teams that are our teams. We had a wave early in the season getting paid on the Pirates. We had a wave early in the season. We're getting paid on the Oakland F5 TTs. We had a wave this season. We're getting paid on the Nationals, on the team totals, Mackenzie Gore, Josiah Gray. Man, what's better than that? And then you kind of, once we pick up on the indications, you get away from it. So I think the White Sox are the bet today. Washington bullpen's been a bit better, but the indicator's really not as great. The White Sox bullpen is trashola. Well, this guy Brian Shaw is doing work out there, yo. So yeah, I got the White Sox. I'm going to put them in the bin for a parlay, but the White Sox win this one. Next up, Zach Wheeler and the Phillies on the bump against the Atlanta Braves. And Kyle, if this right, can it be wrong? Yeah, total coward. Why am I laughing? Because you know what? Hold on. I have to check out how much cowardice I showed. Okay, I did actually bet this one, so let's go for it. Philly F5. It's Wheeler on the bump against Kyle Wright. Man, I just had to get with Wheeler through 5.37 ERA, 107 WHIP, 640 OPS, 23 K minus BB. The 3.2 expected ERA has been very good. 13 swinging strike, 29 whiff, 83 zone contact. So he's winning in, he's winning out, getting his called strikes, keeping the ball down 41% of the time, 5% barrel, a 273 expected WOBA. But Wheeler is doing Wheeler things. And he's been excellent on the road. Sub 600 OPS, 333 xFIP, half a homer 9. I mean, just across the board, he's been great. Kyle Wright trying to get back into it. It's been the struggle bus, to say the least. 1.9 whip with a 7.5 ERA. Yikes. 5.6 expected ERA, double-digit walk rate. Now, I don't think Wright is this bad. I think he's got to get back into it. He struggled at home as well. Nearly 6 ERA plus 800 OPS and a 5.5 xFIP and Sierra last 40 days. Wright's on the struggle bus. Braves offense that we've, trying not to going up against. Don Pla, New Amsterdam, we trust. You got it, baby. Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining the failings here, where this ain't man, this is 300, yo. Grab your sword, grab your spear, right? Because we have a cave to defend. Walk him in, boot him right in the freaking pit with you. Boom! It's a size 11 Birkenstock kid. All right. Acuna banged up. Braves with a tremendous lead. I don't think you're going to see him today. And that was the thing that tipped the scales for me. So I had been wearing this giant yellow stripe trying to avoid the Atlanta offense. I mean, if they're not number one right now, they're pretty close to it. 127 WRC plus. The power profile is excellent, but they also don't strike out. So the Braves really good. 17% K rate. Last 500 PAs, but Acuna's at the center of that. Not to say they're bad without him, but without that one piece, we got to go with the Phillies. The Phillies are doing it, man. Double-digit walk rate, nearly 350 team OBP, last 500 PAs. Those are all top 5. 23.5 line drive, 44% hard hit rate, double-digit barrel. And they're actually the best right-hand hitting team in the league and top 3 against lefties by WOBA last 30. So give me the Phils. I think I've been terrified of the bullpen, although it's actually the Braves bullpen that's been struggling. So maybe Phillies for the win even at minus 105. Let's go that route. Because Wheeler can go deep. We'll get the PAs. And then we have the bullpen edge. Again, that's somewhere I've been going. And again, it's funny because I always talk about trying to be so objective and precise in my procedure, which you do want to, but you have to build conditionals. And the competition thing with the Braves is a big deal. The Braves don't see this game the same way that the Phillies do. The Braves are okay getting smoked today. They only care about getting out of this healthy. They'll run out the very worst of the bullpen. It does not matter, right? Meaning if they're down 1 or down 2, where they normally, you're getting the ace bullpen, they want to win, division win, competition, getting to the pennant. Doesn't matter. So I like that we have one team really pressing against the other team that doesn't, and especially like I mentioned, nearly 8 ERA from the Braves across 52 and a third. That's not nothing, as they say by me. 42 and a half hard hit, double-digit barrel, nearly 3 home runs per 9 across 52 innings for the Braves. They're not doing very well. So let's take the Phillies to win it. Next up, my boy, and one of my favorite bets down the stretch, second half, Milwaukee Brewers full game run line. Just go for it, Jay Bird. Freddie got fingered Peralta on the bump. Minus 180 favorite. So I've been going with the run line. 3.8 ERA, 110 whip, 650 OPS. Got to be maybe the best pitcher in the second half in the bigs. 3.2 expected, 3.5 Sierra. 23 K minus BB. You got to love the plus 31% K rate. I mean, he could just strike up anybody. 30 CSW, 34 whiff rate. Really, just across the board, all the swing and miss stuff totally validated. Wheels up, 274 expected WOBA for Peralta. I guess some struggles at home, 4.25 ERA. I'm sorry, on the road is what I mean, where he is. But again, downright sick last 40 days. 2 ERA, 2.6 K-Walk ERA, 2.7 Sierra. 37% K rate in that span against Adam Wainwright, rolling out the withered husk of the old man, long in the tooth, plus 160 dog. I mean, you know what I should have looked at also? I probably should have looked at the team total for the Brewers. Jay, can we get a sniff at that? Keep it up for me. Because, I thought I had in my head St. Louis bullpen really bad. They've actually corrected course. Oh, Helsley, right? Helsley's back. Man, you got one of those big pieces. It just makes a huge difference. He's been sick. Oh, I'm scratching to my chin right now. Again, Jay, well, let's do the bet stamp thing because this is a great time to promote them. You can see a big difference here. You can get 4.5 on one book, minus 125. You can get 5.5 on another book, plus 115. Man, 40 cents for a run. Especially between 5 to 6. That's a critical run. I would absolutely want the other one, but I still think I like the run line better because it's a better pricing, right? Run line was close to even. I think I saw minus 105, maybe plus 100. I think they're both good. But if you're not buying the run line thing, you feel like it's a little greedy, I think the Brewers easily get to 5 on this one. I've got them modeled up near like 5.25, which again, we talk about modeling and how to read them. Again, that's part of the free pack, man. Go check it out. It's free. And it really, just a couple hours, I think it might really open you up and they're like, wow, there's probably some blind spots. Again, this is something I've built over years. There's hundreds of hours of work into this, if not more, with all the development stuff. So Brewers to cover, Jay, right? Did we get that one? You just smack it. Because even if it's moved, I know it's not beyond the minus 125. So I got Brewers by a mile. You know what I mean? I mean, the Wainwright stuff's just gross. 8 ERA, 1,000 OPS on the season. It's so bad. 7.75 expected ERA. He's a 3% K minus BB. 93% zone contact. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just really bad. He's done. He's cooked. Brewers offense has not been great. They're starting to pick up against righties. That's the encouraging thing. 270 batting average, 350 OBP, last 500, double-digit walk, single-digit swinging strike. And I think that's where it's going to get to. The disciplinary stuff has been very good. So Wainwright's going to live in the zone. And then, the power stuff for the Brewers has been great. But you are getting a 330 WOBA. Again, 22 doubles and 13 steals. So they're capitalizing on the men on base against something that matters. Wainwright, slow delivery, he sucks. So Brewers by 1 million. Next up, Cutaway to K. Crawford on the bump for the Red Sox. There we go, that one. Plus 140 on the road against Jordan Montgomery, and the Walker Texas Rangers. Cutter Crawford, 4.25 ERA, 117 whip with a sub 685 OPS, 362 expected ERA. He really lights up the fastball stuff when you get into the diagnostics. The very low amount of sink, right? That low V move, vertical movement. So he's got that flat fastball that he could throw up with tail. It's very, very good. The thing I've noticed about Cutter with a K here is, as of late, he's starting to struggle. I think the workload is catching up with him. Jay, of course, I forgot the bet stamp thing. We'll get it right now. I'm the worst. You're like smacking your forehead. And I was dying for a drink, so I only punished myself. So let's just get through this one. So I think it's a workload for Crawford, and that's why I provide splits on the sheet. And I think it's important down the stretch to kind of understand this. Boston has fallen into last place and then really not looking to push. Texas still in the absolute heat of it. So they have the competitive edge. Joe Mo, 3.47 ERA, 1.22 whip. I mean, he's a little bit better than a guy. I think I've erroneously labeled him that. But 6% walk, 28 CSW, 65 for a strike, 84 zone contact, right? So he wins out, he wins in. He's not walking anybody, he's getting ahead. These are all really good traits for that kind of ground ball or just a guy, right? And I have to be careful doing that. I wanted to go Boston F5. I ended up not going there. I didn't realize the Boston offense has really fallen off. 233 team batting average with a 29% K rate. They've fallen into the bottom three, 8% walk, 12.5 swing and strike. And again, we've hoped properly, but at the very least identified the disciplinary basket as being the leading indicator for team production. I truly believe in that. Again, it's not just like made up. Particularly with good hitting teams, seeing more pitches begets better quality of contact. Not just because you're seeing more of them increasing the probability it's a bad pitch, but you're also waiting to get ones in it, right? When you're not chasing, you're not offering a pitches outside of the zone. And oftentimes we notice that. You'll never hear this from the spreadsheet socialistas, as Evan Silver would say. But because, if you can't tie a direct correlation to something, they'll scoff at it. But when you talk to real players, coaches, people involved in the game, they'll tell you these things are contagious. Pressing happens, and striking out's a contagious. Again, guys just pressing, get in the hole, and you start to chase, and that's the beginning of it. So Boston showing that leading indicator. I'm kind of getting out of the way. 80 WRC plus, though. I do like him. Texas offense starting to get it going again. The disciplinary stuff at the center of it, we mentioned this. 11% walk, 9% swing and strike, 27 chase, then 43 fly ball. And all of a sudden, you're seeing how they're getting kind of the power stroke back. Josh Young back also today. Hopefully, you're following my fantasy stuff. We're banging the drum last couple of weeks. I have a couple of leagues that I really want to get to. All right, so we mentioned BetStamp before and why it makes such a difference to shop around. I know Maddie, our friend here, actually tweeted maybe a week ago, the difference over a long sample of having the same record with a slightly disparate price. Hopefully I said that correctly. Right, so think you and I have the same exact betting ticket, but I bet plus 105 and you bet minus 102 all season. Something that not a lot of beginner bettors think about. Even with a losing record, I could be in the profit. You could be way behind. So again, pricing matters. Jay, tell them all about it. BetStamp, baby.
Yeah, for sure, John. I got you here. If you're looking to improve as a sports bettor, like John said, the easiest way to do so is to always get the best odds. And the easiest way to always get the best odds is to have a odds comparison tool like BetStamp. BetStamp simply compares odds across every sports book, including games, player props, and futures. Save time and money by downloading the app. Download BetStamp in the Google Play Store or the App Store today. Just search BetStamp. Also, if you're looking to sign up to more sports books, make sure you use that link on screen, betstamp.app/call to the pen, because if you sign up through new sports books through that page, it helps support the show. Now back to John.
All right. Thank you, Jay. Excellent job as always. So funny, man. Not only do you do a great job, right, promoting it, but it gives me a break. Man, I have first of the year. My son, who I shouldn't be joking, although he's gotten a lot better, is missed his first day today. So we're 3 weeks in. We have our first missed day because we have sick kids, and I should have known. And how would I know? And anyone with children will get this one. We were at the bouncy house on Saturday. So, of course, everyone is sniffling and disgustingly sick. Sigh. All right, next up, Baltimore Orioles, Blackbirds, Orange Vest, John Means Business on the bump, plus 135 dog on the road against the old man, JV, Justin Verlander, long in the tooth for those Houston Astros. This one should be a good one. Means had his first game back last time. He went 5. He wasn't great, but he didn't walk anybody, so that's encouraging. Tons of fly balls. I mean, really, you don't want to give up too much, but he gave us a couple of home runs. Excuse me. I want to see a little bit more from him. I have the Astros winning this one by quite a bit, but I'll always admit modeling is really tough for pitchers in mean scenario, right? That we've seen be good in stints, but he's just coming back, so everything's a bit wonky. Sorry, Don PLA, I saw you, man. Early one. Yeah, I have the Royals to win it, and it's near even money. So for anybody that's in a hurry to get something down. Yeah, I think Royals and Brady Singer is the move. Anyway, let's get back into Orioles, Astros. Again, you don't want to go too far in the weeds with means. Verlander's been very, very good. 3.4 ERA, 116 whip. And since he made his move, he's been good. Indicators agree. Excellent home pitching, although some of that is Mets. But Verlander's always been good at home, no matter where he's been. Although, I mean, he's been in Houston before. So I think the big one is probably the offense here, the big separator. So I'm going to end up with Houston. Houston will stick in that little bag also. It's like Houston, Miami, the White Sox. All these teams have warts, but I want to get some exposure to. Houston, one of the best offenses in the league right now, last 500 PAs, number one in runs average. That's a 291 average, 907 OPS. It's a team, 16.5 K, 9 swinging strike, 89 zone contact. So think about that. Getting on, hitting for average, not striking out, not chasing, making tons of contact, but it's also 42 hard hit, 10% barrel. So you really don't want to go up against Houston. Baltimore offense is good, not as good, because they put the ball on the ground a bit too much. They also don't run. So when they don't hit for power, they end up in trouble. I think Verlander is probably going to do his thing against them. Baltimore has the upper hand as far as bullpen. We know they've been very good, but I don't think that excludes Houston from winning. Again, I would really bet the straight because of the price. But I like Verlander and the Astros. Next up, this one is going to take about 4 seconds. It's Ty Bloch, plus 225. Dog on the road to Waka 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 and the Padres. Padres just started to really catch fire. It might be a little bit too late. The Rockies are atrocious, but they somehow have been finding ways to win games. The offense is just objectively terrible. They have 9 home runs in the last 500 PAs, 40% chase rate, 52% ground ball. That's a 76 WRC plus. Against Waka, who's been very good. He throws that freaking lead ball. He's actually given up more lift than I thought. But you are getting a double-digit fly ball rate on double-digit infield fly on the 43 fly ball. Again, I thought it was a little bit higher, although guys that are historically ground bowlers, I try not to overreact too much to line drive stuff. But I want to take a mini lowercase L because I thought the ground ball was elevated for Waka. He's been excellent at home. That was the split that I wanted to make sure I mentioned. 221 average, allowed 666. I did Apricot. OPS 255 ERA, sub 1 homer 9. Yeah, the Padres have a distinct, 3-phase edge. Rockies also have a 5 ERA and 5 Sierra last 51 and a third in the bullpen. Padres 3.2 ERA. 3/4 of a homer 9, 0 losses last 2 weeks for the Padres bullpen. They're kind of getting serious again, a competitive edge. So Padres could go in that as well. I think I paired them with the next game. I did. So Jay, I'll leave that one up to you. You could tail my sub stuff, which again was San Diego plus Seattle. Or we could go for like the big, you want to go for like a 5-gamer or whatever, like a 6-game parlay. And we're trying to get there. We'll just try to push. Let's go full donkey on the way out the door. That one's up to you. Because again, I put this one out for subs, which again is free right now. But it means I had the model, the math, and everything to push, to go for it. So again, obviously I have Waka and the Padres winning. Then it's Brian Woo and the Mariners. Minus 165. Favorite on the road against JP Sears and the Oakland A's. Again, right, you see, once I get past that 150 mark I mentioned, that's when I look to pair. Love the Mariners right now. They're pushing. Woo has a 3.29 expected ERA, 24 K to 7 walk, but nearly 13 swing and strike, 28 CSW, 28 whiff, 65 first strike. Those are all a lot better than maybe the 24 K 7 walk might pretend. Plus the 83 zone contact. He wins in the zone when he needs to. 40 ground ball, 31 hard hit, 6% barrel. Very good. Elevation into contact quality allowed there. He's been death to righties and pretty good on the road. I'm not necessarily buying the 4.5 ERA. It's a 220 batting average, 640 OPS, 0.6 homer 9, 2.6 ERA last 40 days. Woo's been very good. JP Sears, who I liked, I think the wheels have come off. I think we have another workload thing here. Right? When you have guys that are good, again, that's why you got to be careful, especially when you get into fantasy next year. These are some of the pitchers you like. Expect me to be on JP Sears in very deep leagues, right? Drafting them in 10-teamers. Pitchers that are good, have pedigree and skill, then produce, but tail out at the end of the season. 4.45 ERA for Sears, 1.23 whip. Indicators, probably a right in line with that 4.6 ERA, 4.6 expected. When they're in line, that's what I believe. 15 KBB, 65 first strike, 83 zone contact, 35 chase. So like a lot of kind of plus metrics there as far as the disciplinary looks go. Suppressive hard contact, 30 hard hit. However, 11% barrel rate. The hard hit balls are hit very hard because there are too many fly balls, right? So the hard hit fly balls are in the air. That's the nearly 2 homer 9. He's really struggled at home. 5 xFIP plus 2 homer 9 for Sears. And again, the last 40 days really spun off the rails. So the Seattle offense is in a little bit of a downturn because they were so hot. And then you see, right, we talk about the sidelines. Only 52 runs, 300 OBP, 682 OPS, kind of crappy, But they put it in the air and they pull it. So the damage is always there. Potential for damage, is always there. And again, we're going to look to outlast them in the bullpen. Oakland bullpen is just an absolute abject disaster. Last 61 innings, it's a 5.2 Sierra, 12% walk, 47 fly ball. I mean, just really bad. But on the season, they have a 5.3 ERA across 636 innings, 1.5 whip, and they've taken 39 losses in the bullpen. Oakland A's bullpen, 39 losses. Just absurd. So you take Seattle, you take San Diego. We're going to mash them together. And that got me to like plus 115 or plus 120, I think, depending on the book and the price. If you're using BetStamp, you're going to find a better price. But yeah, give me those two. Again, I know that's like the ultimate donkey play. Hopefully, these last 36 minutes and 30 seconds were enough to dispel, the fact that we're not doing our homework, right? It's like, because you absolutely get that feel. There are handicappers that do no research. They get paid a lot of money by networks to spend more money on their makeup than on their work. They don't actually bet this stuff. And if they do, it's for not enough money to matter. They don't provide fresh lines. They don't care, right? It's not important to them. They got paid. Their check is on the way. The contract is signed. They don't care about you or pushing your knowledge further, which again is one of the things I take the most pride in here. And that's when you really get me, right? When you see the horns come out, and you see like, maybe John's not so nice. When I am super competitive, obviously, this means a lot to me. And I'm fully intent on taking those top spots. But it starts with you. Rate, review, and subscribe. You got us past the 1,000 subscriber mark. I cannot believe it. Me and Jay, means the world to us. We're still getting, 100 listens, even in football season. A lot of baseball shows have packed it up because they don't want to have those analytics show. And we've done a pretty good job. And it's because of you again and your participation. Follow us at Call to the Pen HQ. Follow me at John Laghezza on X. And then again, all the links are free to all the data, Hit it up. Hit me up. You got questions? Matt gave me a really good idea for hitter split data that I'm going to put in next year. When Jeff Zimmerman did his article on ball rate, I added that in season. Right? This is an ever-growing, breathing, living document. And again, I want you to take part in it. That's what it's there for. Again, the door has to swing both ways. I don't know everything. I just hope I do a good job of presenting this stuff and making money over the long term by putting myself in a strong probabilistic scenario. Right? Next up. When I laugh, it's because I'm a coward. It's because I'm a coward. John, you coward. At Erod and those Detroit Tigres from Motor City, leaving 8 Mile plus 160 dogs on the road against the Trolley Dodgers. Lance Lynn, Hollywood, always up to no good. I mean, this is like if somebody came down from outer space and didn't know anything about betting. This is when, the alien would be better than the best handicapper because we let biases get in. Put it the Dodgers. And I did it to myself. Erod, objectively better than Lance Lynn. 3.3 ERA, 115 whip, 640 OPS. 3.8 expected ERA. 24K to only 7.5 walk. 29 CSW. 64 first strike. 84 in zone contact. So everything is in place. He wins in the zone. He doesn't walk guys. Gets his chases. 40% ground ball. Keeps it down. 30% hard hit. He suppresses hard contact. 0.8 homer 9, he doesn't give up home runs. 287 expected WOBA, and he's excellent on the road. Against Lance Lynn and his 6 ERA, 1.4 whip, he's so bad. He still induces swings and misses. He throws way too many fastballs. He's not fooling anybody right now. 42 fly ball, 10.5 barrel is the 2.2 homer 9. And he's a 5.6 ERA at home on the year, with a 5.3 ERA last 40, 5.7 Sierra. Why didn't we pull the trigger on this one? I don't know. Jay, what's the pricing on the run line stuff? I mean, I had it up. Anybody that follows my work knows I like to make these snazzy little sheets. I got into like Canva and making graphics. Adding value, people, is something to it. People that ask me about content creation. And I erased it. Such a loser I am sometimes. Yo, man, I wear it, dude. I wear it. Come on, Jay, bring it up. You know what? I think in my defense, I'm gonna defend myself because this was the truth. Again, I only use books that I can find live lines. The only ones that I'm allowed right now that I have like DK, MGN, which I've been finding has very good baseball pricing, and then some offshore stuff. The full game was listed. The F5 was not. So I'd be interested in the F5 run line, Jay. I don't know. That was not up for whatever reason, which I found strange. See, a couple books don't have it up. Okay, in my defense, so like at least I like told the truth. We want to be on the Detroit side of that, man. We want the plus money. We want the plus run and the plus money. So let's get that. Let's do that one. What was it on the full game? Although, man, with the Erod stuff and Lynn being bad, like we gotta play this. We gotta play. No, we gotta play this one straight. I'm a total chicken, right? We got even money with a run in like a strict matchup in a race to. We need 15 outs. That's it. We need 15 outs. Dodgers offense is very good. However, they really have struggled against lefties as of late. And I know it's very easy to assign Dodgers are awesome. I know they are awesome. However, 293 expected WOBA versus lefties last 30, and that's where my analysis lies. Because the Tigers offense is not very good. They strike out too much. They haven't hit righties. They're not really doing a damn worth of anything. But again, it's 15 outs, and we're going to cash in a tie. So that will do it for the game stuff. Gee, did you spin around? Did you put together a little parlay? I think it was easy, right? I think it was White Sox, Marlins, and I brain farted. Oh, Astros? Yeah, and Astros. So we can stick those three together. If any of you out there also feeling super snazzy, by all means, jamming that Seattle, jamming to San Diego, just go nuts, man. Let it rip. And this is the time, really, this is the time to not to get wild, because again, we have to address the boomers that are out there. That like you can't parlay. Yes, if you dial down the risk far enough, yes, you absolutely can parlay. If all your model stuff is there and you're not getting yourself in trouble, you absolutely can. They would argue if you think a bet is strong enough and viable enough, why wouldn't you just play it straight? My answer would be because the strength of the modeling maybe doesn't get me to where the win percentages there. This is something we've covered at nauseum, but maybe we'll leave you just a half a feather on the way out. People, right? If you have -2, look, take it San Diego and take Seattle. -210, -185. If you're betting them both to win 100, you need them both to win anyway. And if you only get one, you're down pretty far. And you had to go max risk because you had to pay dues. So I'd rather turn down the risk, lower than the total loss of the 1-1 result. And to me, that's a win. You needed them both regardless. And you get a higher profit. Again, sorry. Everyone is different. I don't mean to try and say I'm right and you're wrong, but it's just I want to offer people a different perspective. Because to me, and maybe there's the difference in it, I just view things coming from having a trading background where like every trade is individualized and they don't impact each other. We like, oh man, I'm on a hot streak, but that shouldn't matter. Oh, they're all individualized. So each venture, the goal of each venture is to be profitable. And that's how I do it. So to me, having these two games as a single venture, the best way to be profitable is to lower the risk and combine them because I need to hit them both anyway. So that'll do it. Last feather in the cap from J&J. We appreciate you so much, man. If you're here on Monday with us 45 minutes in at the end of September, you are such a sick degenerate. Oh my God, we love you. You are so sick in the head. Thank you for being part of the phalanx here at 300, where we give the books nothing and take from them everything. So hang out with Mr. Cooper and the big man with the big mouth. That's me. Follow me up at John Laghezza. Football stuff coming in hot and heavy. I just wiped the floor with the prop letter market. That's another one, right? I like to push the edge a little bit. I think if you're betting props and again, you don't get standard lines because they're not -110. So I know this is not a football show, but it is a betting show. Again, it's all about win percentages And then with something like props that have the ability to go well beyond the bar, and there's progressive payouts, I don't know why you wouldn't take advantage of that. $20 the entire year. I got your football stuff. I mean, I know everybody that signed up already made that already. So even if you're like a $2 better, you made that already. So again, and then you get all the data sheets, player and team. Jay, I sent them to you, waiting for feedback, homie. And that'll do it. Thank you for picking up what we're putting down here. Enjoy the games. Enjoy your day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. Make sure you're following Jay on Twitter. Make sure you're watching his show, Forward Progress, Thursday at 2. I'm on Friday at 2, bringing up the caboose with our boy G-Stacks. And you know I'm a freaking electric factory. Do I have to tell you? Do I have to tell you that? That, like, man, I love football analysis. I think I do it a little bit differently because I really do like a third-dimensional, schematic-based counterpunch. And again, it worked yesterday. So we love you much, man. Review and subscribe. You're just getting down to your last chance to it. We got 9 regular season shows to go. Who would have thunk it when we first started, man? Last lesson. When you work this hard, there's a lot less luck, yo. See you tomorrow. Peace.